Alrighty, we're going to write a dot equals method that will compare two student objects and return true if their first and last names are identical and if the object sent in is not null. And I'm saying we don't have to do the class type check. So that's down here. We're going to write this down here. So public Boolean, that's because it returns true or false, equals object, I'm going to say obj. Okay, and the first thing is if obj equal null, return false. That's easy. Hey, if it's null that got passed in, then it ain't equal. Okay. And then I said we don't have to check the class type. But now we're going to check the first name and the last name. They all have to be the same. So if before we do that, we have to cast obj into a student. So student, I'll say other equals student. We're casting obj into a student object called other. Or maybe I'm going to call it param, so you know it's the one that came in here. I don't know. Why not? So if this dot first name dot equals param dot first name, and this dot last name dot equals param dot last name, then we're going to return true. Otherwise, if we get to the end here, we're going to return false. So this is one long equal if statement, but this first name is, you could think of it this way. If we have A dot equals B, the A is the this. And the B is this one I called param. You can name it anything. We were calling it other in our other things, but it was called obj when it came in, but then we're casting it to be a student here. And let's just compile, make sure that we're not going to get any printout, but make sure this compiles, that nothing crashes. Okay, and then I said, then I want you to create 3 student objects in the main method, and then 2 of them are the same, 1 of them isn't, and then do some tests. So student BH equals new student. Is it first name and then last name? First name and then last name. Bobby Hayes, that's a student who doesn't really exist. I may have told you. Oliver once filled out a form at school in the name Bobby Hayes, and we still get credit card applications for Bobby Hayes at my house. All right, so system.out.println a dot equals b. That should be true, right? Because they're both Bobby and Hayes. System.out and a dot equals c. That should be false because Mr. Jones is not Bobby Hayes. And then I did ask you to do a null. A dot equals null. I think that'll work fine. You can't put null in parentheses. I mean in quotes, because that would be a problem. So we should get true, false, false. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Oh, how funny that I did A and B. You probably saw me do that. BH, capital BH, BH, and MRJ from Mr. Jones, and BH, no, let's see. Sorry. Hopefully you didn't type everything just like I did, but yeah, so we should get true for the BH dot equals capital BH because those 2 student objects are the same. And then when we compare BH with null, we get a false. And when we compare BH with Mr. Jones, we get a false. And That is it. So